here's an NVR1084K. So here's what the NVR looks like. On the back, I have an HDMI cable and a VGA cable, both connected simultaneously from this one NVR to my monitor right here. So when you look at the display section, this is how I got to it. Let me just show you, by the way. When you're on a grid screen, you right click and then you click on main menu and then you click on display. It takes you to this screen. Here I can see that enable decoding is on, all these things are on. This is default when you turn on the NVR. And my resolution is 1280 by 1024. This monitor of mine is a TV and computer monitor combined, and it has both VGA and HDMI in it. So when I do when I do input, it lets me select a different input. Right now I'm on VGA. That's what that stands for. And then when I hit input again and I change to HDMI, it switches. Give it a second or so. It says HDMI 1. And it switches to the HDMI connection. So without having to do anything, both the VGA and HDMI are simultaneously on, showing you the same view through the NVR. If you're not getting the same results with your monitor, that means you have either a bad cable or a bad monitor. It automatically sets the both VGA and HDMI output on. There's nothing else to do. Now my resolution, I can change this to 720p. Okay, before it was at 1280 by 1024. And now you need to make sure your monitor supports the 1280 by 720 in both VGA and HDMI. So it's asking me right now, do I want to confirm this? I'm going to say yes, because the reason that menu prompt came up is to make sure that it knows that the user can still see what's being output. So right now I'm on basically HDMI. Now I'm going to go to VGA. So depending on the capabilities of my monitor, it'll determine whether I can see that or not. And I can. VGA 720 works. So if you are not seeing a screen, let's say on VGA, but you're seeing on HDMI, that means there's a problem with your monitor that's not supporting 720p over VGA. But the NVR is able to do that. In fact, one last thing I'm going to do is right now inside my VGA output, now I'm going to put it on 1920 by 1080. That's 1080p. It's going to ask me again to confirm, to make sure that the user can see the monitor. Now I'm going to switch from my VGA to HDMI. And this monitor supports VGA and HDMI at 1080p as well. And that's why my HDMI works as well. Now, you may have a monitor that doesn't support 1080p VGA or 720p VGA. Then you won't see a VGA output from the NVR. Lastly, make sure your cables are good and your monitor supports the resolutions you're trying to use. All right, hopefully that helps you out. Thanks for watching.
If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.